It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. All that and more coming up next.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from Atlanta. This taken in at the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Well, the Falcons now get to stretch their wings on offense here, and at quarterback for them is a former second overall pick who spent 4 seasons as a starter in Tennessee, Marcus Mariota.
Coming out of Oregon as the Heisman Trophy winner, we thought that this guy was headed towards superstardom, and while he didn't quite reach those heights, he did have some flashes along the way. And right now, his athleticism continues to keep him in the league. Still has a good arm, mobile, a great guy to have in the locker room. He can win if given an opportunity.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action now, Mariota. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mariota. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Not only a fumble loss there, but a fumble lost on your first drive in your own territory.
Now you're dealing with a lot of stuff here because you feel bad going off the field because you gave up the football. How does your own defense feel now having to go out there and stop them when the momentum is clearly shifted in their favor?
Now we get our first look at the hometown kid, rookie Kenny Pickett from the University of Pittsburgh, as he leads the Steeler offense out for their first possession.
And when you watch Kenny Pickett play, you see a young man who got better every season in college and really blossomed in his final campaign, took his game to a new level, and made him a first-round pick in the NFL. He's the type of kid who can beat you with his mind, beat you with his arm, and occasionally with his legs. A tough, skilled performer. Kenny Pickett, he's got some moxie to him.
Following the fumble recovery, Pickett. And this is taken in at the 5. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 42 yards. And the Steelers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Taking it about the 1. On the return, Williams. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's Romeo Guglielmi powering through to end that play before it could get started.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They go play action. Mariota. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
Now a man who did his collegiate punting just a couple hours from here in Clemson in South Carolina, Bradley Pinion to kick. Back deep is Gunnar Olszewski. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. He finds his man Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
First carry for Najee Harris. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He gets it complete to Harris. And he will have a Steelers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
First and 10, here's Pickett. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Pickett. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Pickett back to throw. It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that's going to make it 4th down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it looking at a 4th down and 2. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
Trying to build on that opening drive touchdown, but the drive stalls out. And then you get the missed field goal here, so they wind up with nothing to show from drive number 2.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. First down, Mariota. Complete to Zacchaeus.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, the defender was right on him.
2nd and 8 coming up. Throwing is Mariota. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Montrevious Adams. collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
Mariota. Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught at the 20. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. 3rd and short yardage. Mariota. Got his man. It's London. And the Falcons are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They'll take over deep in their own end after the fumble recovery as they start 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Pickett over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. Pickett to his tight end Freiermuth for the Steeler first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Pickett, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Harris running straight ahead. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Avery Williams deep for Atlanta. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here's Mariota. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now Mariota. Got a man. It's Patterson complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. To throw, Mariota.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just want to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Steelers. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Here's Steven Sims on the return from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Steeler offense ready to get going here in this third quarter. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their own 18. Harris will start the drive out. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Well, you certainly have to give them credit here because they're playing this game at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the draw, it's Harris. Shifts past him at the 45. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. Trying with Pickett here on 3rd down. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he will have a Steelers first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Pickett now on first down.
And it's incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Atlanta, Georgia's the spot, and glad to have you along for the ride. Third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Dialing up another pass here. Pickett. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
A 9-yard gain on the play.
Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Pickett to throw on first down. Quick completion here to Johnson. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Mark that as a gain of 16 to set them up 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Harris will score. Touchdown, Steelers. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs, and if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Now for the point after. And it is now 21-0. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. From the gun, Mariota. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To the air again, Mariota on the move to his left. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. Then he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Mariota now to throw on first down. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. But just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick six, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick six?
An extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And here now come the Falcons. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. And the CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
They hand this off to Harris. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 50 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Pickett will look to throw it here. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. And that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack.
The downside for the defense is that they're dealing with a team that's in their red zone, but the upside, not much room to work with for the offense. Fewer windows in the zone for them to throw into. Tough for a quarterback to get a throw off before the pressure ends up getting to him.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 22. Mariota now. And his throw here's incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Mariota. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Cameron Hayward picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Talk about 2 sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Let's go do this thing, baby. The sack backs him up, so now Mariota in Atlanta dealing with a 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And some space here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now here's another carry for Harris. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still 2nd down.
They'll try the right side with Harris. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.